Hello, folks. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely alone. I have Bella. And Cheney. Okay. Come on, guys. You just want to eat stuff in here. I know how you work. Come on, Cheney. All right. Let's get you guys set up. Because as usual, I started a live video without being properly prepared. It's what I do. At least I'm consistent. I'm almost right on time. It's 7:30. That's not terrible. I've done way worse than this. Okay, Cheney. No. You allowed in there by yourself? I don't think that you are. All right, I'm going to get you guys set up on the big TV so I can see comments. A lot to do. You know what? You guys look really hazy, and it's just not that hazy in here. I think my lens needs to be cleaned. Hope that doesn't hurt. Weirdest disco ever. Okay, you're all clean. Let's do a pop-out chat. Let's throw it up here. I have a little hourglass, so let's get you to 200. 250. All right, here's who is first. Enigma was first. Hello, Enigma. Hello, Robert White, Rachel Powell, Stacy Hawkins, Big Dog Mask, Amanda Wilson, Paul Bennett, Christina Mantai, Hugo Corriere Lette, Susan Atai, Robert White, Enigma. You were actually first. Good job, buddy. Line Cook Thor, Gray Hawkins. Hello, Gray. And Nemesis RR. Does RR stand for railroad? Hello, Nemesis. Line Cook Thor, Jose Urbina. And Poison Sumac, Rodney Pope, David Carter. Hello in the UK. Lindy Vito, no supervision. I do what I want. And James Kelly, Ross Riker. Ooh, bears. That's fun. If you get a chance, go punch one. They love it. Michelle Schulte, Lisa Gordon Ahrens, and Kenny P. Paul Bennett, Mary Jordan. I gotta be close, right? Jordan Easel. My wife is at work, and today got weird. I was supposed to have people in the shop today, but today got weird. Had to go pick something up that was in the land of far, so I spent 5 hours driving today. Hello, Mike Murphy and Ezekiel Bradshaw. That's right. Now I've got like 30 or 40 friends with me. Alexander Castle, Bob Boyd, Paul Bennett, Jeff Leach. Doesn't stand for railroad. Okay, I'm just going to pretend it stands for railroad. Right now in my head, you are a really menacing looking train. And there we go. All right, now y'all are saying hi to each other. You don't even need me anymore. Yeah, see, I could just like start the video and then go do other stuff, and you guys would talk to each other. That's how it is now. Y'all are buddies. All right. So I have to figure out where to put you so that you can see what I'm doing and I can read comments. First, I'm getting power to you so you have more freedom of movement. You guys are tethered. So right now, you're going to be here. It's not where you're going to stay, but that's where you are right now. And y'all are still saying hello to each other. If I miss a question, just post it again, because it is just me. If your question is like really weird or really off the wall, maybe I'm ignoring you, but odds are really good I just missed it. Does anybody know who sang the song Love Is On The Way? I know it's an 80s hairband song, but I completely forget which one. Love is on the way, I can see it in your eyes. Like, that's all I know of it, but it's a good song. That's right, your family buddies. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to leave this room. Saigon Kick, yes, I like them. I didn't just post a TikTok. I posted one yesterday. I didn't mean to post a TikTok. Who knows? I haven't even been on TikTok today. Oh yeah, you like my shirt, Robert? This is undefeated hide and seek champion. What a lovely shirt that I have, buddy. Do I do any tombstones that are heavier than styrofoam? I have, yes, actually. I have done lots of tombstones. Well, what I used to do is I'd make a styrofoam tombstone, and then I would cover it in latex, and then make a jacket mold over that. And then you can use acetone to melt out the styrofoam, and then you have a latex mold to pour up concrete or fiberglass tombstones. So yes, I have. Or I make them out of styrofoam and just cover them in liquid nails, like all the way, like paint them, seal them, encase them. I don't mess around with dry lock or any of that other stuff that is, liquid nails is hard, it's outdoor ready, it's good to go. I like it. We're in here because I have some work to do. 7:30, I have 2 hours, so I'm going to be able to pour up one of these while I'm in here with you. Don't let me forget to pour this out at the end of the night. That'd be very bad if I forgot. I'm supposed to use a brush in this, but I don't see a brush, so I'm just going to give it a little hand flopperating. This is Leech Lord, and I have an order for 5 Leech Lords, all UV paint, and that's going to be exciting. Because you guys don't get to see UV paint very much. Well, maybe you do. You just don't see it from me. Maybe you cheat on me with other mask makers, and they're like giving you UV paint stuff all the time. Who knows? Now I have to run in the other room real quick. Check comments. Hello, 1134 Rad D Films. Hello. Okay. Skin and Bones, it's just me and the Houndos this evening. Today it is just me and the Houndos. That's it. The wife is at work, and I had to do about 5 hours of driving. I went out to Bridgeport, Texas today. Okay, so here is a Leech Lord. And now, here we go. We have a Leech Lord. Leech Lord. All right, so I'm going to put him in the other room. Come back, we'll pour up one. Okay. I saw a question that might have been about UV paint. And when I say UV paint, I'm referring to ultraviolet light. So that is a paint job that glows in black light or ultraviolet light. They're a lot of fun to do. Normally, though, I always paint them with the in the UV light, and then I turn the regular lights on. I'm like, ooh, that looks like the devil's butthole. That looks terrible. But it's meant to be viewed in UV light, so you kind of have to understand that you're painting it for one light or the other. It is such a different thing. And then there's two kinds of UV that you got to worry about. You have to worry about, is it just going to be seen in UV light with the naked eye, or are they wearing the glasses? Is it 3D UV? If it's 3D UV, then everything changes. How does everything change? Because you're not painting colors at that point. You're painting with distance. So blue, their blue is going to be the furthest away from the person's eye, because the color blue with those glasses on shifts back about 6 inches. The color signal red will jump forward about 6 inches. So every color. But what that means, though, is that blue is a cool color. You would think that purple would be back there by blue. No, because purple is a mix of blue and red. It lands right in the middle next to white. So you have to paint by distance, not by color. I'm working on all kinds of stuff tonight. This mold is made out of UltraCal 30. I would practice on your stilts, be able to be on them for 5 hours at a time, because how long is a haunt night? You're talking about being on them for 5-6 hours. So, walking around on them fine for an hour at a time is one thing. But, make sure before you add them as a skill for haunted houses, that you can stand being on them for 5-6 hours. When we do trade shows, Rob and Rue and I used to, you might have to be on stilts for 10-12 hours, because a trade show's a long day. And then we might go to a costume party and be in stilts again for a couple hours at the party. So yeah, you can kick your own butt. I'm going to turn that off for now. It's that loud air compressor. Oh, it's terrible. Gray, go do your schoolwork. You know what? I like that song, I Think We're Alone Now. Every now and then when I was playing Carl Cleaver, I would sing that to somebody. There was a closet inside of Carl's that was super dark, and then when they would get right in front of me, I would go, I think we're alone now. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. And they would freak out because they were not alone, turns out. So Ross did a great example and talk through of the mask making process. I appreciate that, sir. Y'all helping each other out is a wonderful benefit to this community. It allows me to be lazy and not answer some questions. So that's cool. Right now, these teeth are very problematic as far as getting bubbles in them, because they're thin. They're real thin teeth. So air gets trapped down there and it can't push the latex out of the way. So I'm putting a zip tie into each tooth, like this. And now I'm going to pour latex into it. From this very full, did I mention this was full bucket of latex? Okay. And now happens is, I'm going to tap it a little bit, but there's air trapped in there. See how many bubbles I've got just on that surface? And what you'll probably see as I grab this, that's down in the tooth. As I wiggle it, you'll probably see a bubble come up to the surface. But now I know that that tooth down there has, oh, there's the bubble. That tooth down there has no air in it. Squeegee that off. Here's this one. See that big bubble that just popped up right there? That is because I agitated this and we got the air out of that tooth. Now this one is almost covered up and I might forget him if I'm not careful. Okay. And if it just happened to fill all the way, then I won't have an air bubble. But that's pretty rare. Right there, an air bubble came up right next to it. There we go, air bubble. Almost all of them have an air bubble. It's whether or not you see it come up, because it could take a left turn in Albuquerque. All I care is that it gets out of the teeth. There we go. Oh, big air bubble. Big air bubble. Great. You guys get the idea. That's got to be kind of boring to watch. Yet a little bit satisfying in a Dr. Pimple Popper kind of way. If you're on stilts for a long period of time, horror beauty, what I would, first off, eat some bananas, eat some pickles, anything to prevent cramps from happening down the road. And while you're on the stilts, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. It's just anything for whatever, for normal, you know. What tends to get a little sore is your hip flexors, because you're using those muscles that you don't normally use, because your legs weigh about 20 pounds extra, about 14 pounds more than normal. I do hope you guys got to see those bubbles come up. I think someone asked me about this and I mentioned it, but being able to see it on camera is something else, you know? And I'm just kind of talking to myself right now because it's pretty hard to see your comments, because I'm in the wrong room to read comments. No matter how big the TV is, if you're in a different room, well, you don't have any glasses with it. Maybe X-ray glasses. Okay, we're so close, because as soon as this is done, then I will fill this all the way up with latex. Now we'll fill it up with latex. 5-gallon bucket of latex weighs about 80 pounds, maybe a little more than 80 pounds. Weighs a lot. It's heavy. It's a burr. Okay, I'm just going to fill it up to the top like that. I saw a clumpy clump go in there. I don't want clumpy clumps. Gross. Just put that away safely. I'm going to cover this so that it doesn't, I don't want it to skin on the top, so I got to grab something to cover it with. Just going to use a plastic bag. There we go. All right. Now, no matter what the air is doing, it won't skin. To the other room. Hey. Hello, Christopher Lazote. I just saw you pop on. You saw one chunk in the latex that I pulled out. Oh. Michael, is still walking sliders not a good idea? Like, we're just not that bendy most of the time. I would not drink tonight when I'm singing because I'm a little more cray-cray when I'm alone. Good evening, creepers. Hey. Awesome. Very cool, big dog. Yes, I'm glad you saw the bubbles. It might pull the air bubbles out like resin, maybe, but it also bubbles up, it kind of gets everywhere, so it's just not worth it normally. Like, that's a possible solution, but it's a lot of a problem. You're gonna get everybody wasted, Christina Manti. All right, so now I go back down to the bottom. Thank you, Harry Beastie. This was a gift from a lovely creeper. Let's see the live chat, make sure I get everything. Hello, Just Mike. I don't know where my shirt is from. Again, it was a gift. Okay, so in all honesty, let's back up here. I guess we're going to talk about stilt walking tonight. That's how it goes. This is why I don't get things done in the shop. Just saying. I got to tell my wife why I wasn't productive. So stilt walking, all right, your legs are much longer than normal, all right? So riding a bike doesn't really help you because you're not doing anything to lengthen or strengthen those muscles. You're getting hard pushes on your quads and your whatever these are. Hamstrings, I don't know, these muscles here, yes. Your big thigh muscles, that's what a bike is good for. But if you want to work the same muscles as stilt walking, roller skate. Because on stilts, you have longer legs, so your strides are longer, all right? If you want to work those muscles, think about how you move when you roller skate, okay? So, roller skates. Okay, yes, there's just Mike again. Hello, Luis Montejo. What is going on? Normally, I'm working on mask stuff, and I'm about to grab a mask from the other room, and I got to put eyes in it, and then I'm going to paint it. So we're going to do some mask stuff here in a moment. I just poured up a mask, that's why I'm covered in latex, and I'm going to get my hands clean and catch up on comments. It's just me. Normally I have a comment reader, so I apologize sincerely, Luis Montejo, for you not understanding immediately what is happening here. There are 119 of you, and I appreciate that. Yeah, your thighs, yes. Oh, how often do I have to update the contact cement? I might do it once a weekend. Normally it holds. It's such an outer layer that it's fine to hold for a weekend. Man, I love Stilt costumes. They're the best. Hey, Chad, that's so awesome. I'm glad that tip worked for you. Yeah, warm water with hydrocal stops those spider cracks from happening. So, not a big deal with ultracal, but yeah. ACLs have left the chat. Yeah, roller skate, yes. Yes, roller skate. Boom, boom, boom. Awesome, David. I'm glad you bought a pumpkin. And, you know what? I wasn't going to do it. So, in my head, I try to balance YouTube Wednesday. Like, I want to do, you know, in my brain, I want to do something maybe effects related, and then something costumey, and then something that you can just make and put in your yard, and then something, you know what I mean? So I try to balance it. But I think I'm going to do another thing that you can just make and put in your yard, and I think it's going to be, here's a hint. Ooh. How's that for a hint? All right, that's for YouTube Wednesday. Which mask am I painting? John Sheffield, I like to walk on stilts that are 18 inches or 24 inches, no higher. Because you still want to get through doorways and stuff, and honestly, the costuming you have to do to balance out the look. If you're walking in a parade, sure, walk on 3-foot or 4-foot stilts. But if you're working in a haunted house or working at a haunted house, it takes better pictures if you are on 24-inch or 18-inch stilts. So that's what I recommend walking on. John C., I really appreciate you reading those comments out loud. I'm sure it's helping. I already did a sheep ghost, big dog. Sparrow's Cave, good night. You just got here. I feel like I just got here. I haven't even started doing anything yet. Ooh, which mask am I painting? This one? I'm painting this one, and then we're going to work on a pelican mask too. So there's this one that's happening right now. We're going to start cutting eyes and stuff in it. Yeah, I just think people are going to be excited about the video I'm doing on this Wednesday. So, oh, Sparrow. Shouldn't college students like stay up late and stuff? Justin, this is not your coordinator. This is actually Rodney Pope's coordinator, simply because he's going to be here on Friday, and I want to make sure that his is done so he can just pick it up in person. Yours is in the mold. Yes, you will ship. I think you'll ship on Friday. You know, how's that saying go? Lord willing, creek don't rise. You'll be shipping on Friday. This one I just have extra work to do, so I want to make sure I get it done. What is better for stilts? It depends on where you are. I would honestly, I would go with a ghost at this point. Yes, a constipated owl. That's exactly right. Where does the hurricane hit on Friday? I'm in Dallas. I'm like 500 miles from the shore, so we're pretty much fine. Okay. I need to calm down a little bit, and I need to put the camera here so that I can look at the camera while I look at this to get painted, and so I can have a drink of my soda. Jerry Collins, there is no light, I'm afraid. She is at work. I am Gloriously unsupervised. I'm going to do what I want with these leaves. Or I'll just ask Rodney what he wants me to do. Because this is going to go to him. And all I'm doing right now is I'm cutting out these eyes because Rodney ordered it with eyes in it, like there was a person wearing it, instead of the screen eyes like I normally do. Rodney has chosen to ignore my vision for the mask and just get whatever he wants. Was this Burger King? Gonna have it your way? Fine. Fine! That's fine, actually. It's cool. It lets us see new things. And who out there was reading the De-Evolution book? Who was reading that? Didn't one of you awesome ladies get that book to read? Okay, so there is a camera here on me in the shop, all right? And my wife will pop in and watch this camera every now and then. So, yes. Yes, the last unsupervised night I cut my thumb open. You are correct. There's lots of blood. So, yeah, hooray. I answer questions the whole time, so you just ask questions, whatever. I love beef netting for spider webs, but they are part of a spider web system. Beef netting alone is fine if you're like a big theme park, but if you're doing it for a yard, then what in my opinion, what you would want to do is the beef netting is a base or a structure, and then you can go over that with some thermoplastic webbing, because different webbing materials in layers gives you a nice effect. So not just beef netting, but if you layer it. JTA Haunts, thank you very much. I appreciate that you like my work. Goodbye, Christina Manti. Wouldn't you also keep tabs on me if in some small way I was your responsibility? Okay, yes, Nest cameras. We have several of them on property. What can I use to paint mattress foam and still keep it soft? You don't have a lot of options. What you have to do is have something that is going to flex. So what I would do is I would give it a skin of latex, just spray on latex, and then paint it with the same paints that I use for latex masks, because that paint has flex and stretch. Yes, those are orders on the roll-up door until I get that door taken out and just put a single walk door there, because I have this wonderful shop. Look, all right? This wonderful shop. See this whole wall? That whole wall right there is a door. That whole wall is a door. Then I have that window that I put shelves in the window to hold spray paint right there. And then there's a door right there in that wall. All right? And then right there on this wall is another window with spray paint can shelves. And then there's a giant roll-up door open. What did they do in this place before I got here that they needed the giant door on this side and the giant door right over there? Like, were they driving cars through? I don't know. But I don't have wall space. I have a crap ton of doors. I don't have any wall space. So there you go. I do have a lot of folks keeping tabs on me. 123 right now. Thank you all for watching. I really mean it. Like, it's cool to hang out with you. And frankly, if I was here alone and my wife wasn't home, I would just be watching terrible movies instead of hanging out with y'all. So, and by terrible movies, I mean like great 70s horror. Awesome Mingenra, thank you. Halloween Kieran. Kieran? Thank you very much. I don't know that I'm a legend, but I am. I like what I do. Wife hasn't stopped me, and I've drank like 3 Monsters today, and this is my second cup of soda. So I may be a little more energized than normal. And plus, you know that like this weekend coming up is Monster Camp. That's exciting. This is your pumpkin. We're working on his eyes right now. In your eyes you have, in your eyes I'll never let you go. All right. Everything in my shop is on wheels. Oh, Valerie, that's so awesome. Susan Hart, thank you. I'm glad you like the mask. Hopefully you'll like it when I finish painting it. And I opened this up for a reason. I was going in the eyeball drawer. Why don't you guys go in the eyeball drawer with me? Well, I have to make up because there's nobody here. So any noise happening in the shop, I have to make, if that makes any sense at all. Why don't we do blue eyes on this pumpkin? These are some good blue eyes. I think that'll look good inside of there. Yeah. You guys have seen the whole shop. Maybe before Monster Camp, when I get everything all clean, I'll go through and I'll do a shop tour. What am I doing for Halloween? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure. I know I added some classes to the schedule. The weekend of Halloween itself, we are doing some backstage tours at Dark Hour. So we'll have the backstage tours happening. But I don't know exactly what's happening. Gordinator normally does, but Rodney Pope does not care about my wishes or my creative vision. He wants to do what he wants to do, and he cannot be contained. So he said, I want eyes in there, dang it. Plug drawer, yeah. I actually have 2 eyeball drawers. I have eyeball forms, which I use for sculpting, and that's a finished eyeball drawer. We're going to use some EVA foam clay. This happens to be from TNT Cosplay Supply. They're actually in Arlington, so they're about 2 hours from me. Not that bad. I do love my shop. These are like a blue-gray. I think green might get lost because we have green elements in the mask already. So I didn't want to do green eyes. I have some nice green eyes. But, I think ever since, like, in my brain, the Crypt Keeper, he really sold me on monsters having blue eyes because the Crypt Keeper just has beautiful eyes. Like, I'm not trying to get digits or nothing. The Crypt Keeper has some rockin' eyeballs. That's all I'm saying. Beautiful eyes. Yes, I have lots of masks for sale. They're on my website, stiltbestudios.com. If you go there, then you'll be able to see masks that are for sale, that are already made, and ones that you can order me to make. What I'm finding that people enjoy right now is, because I'm live so often, someone will order a mask and say, I want to watch you make it live. So right now, Rodney is watching me make his mask. When I made the Minotaur, they got, and see, I'm very careful about saying names and who bought what, who did what. I try not to say a lot of names with stuff. Like if someone gives me gifts, I don't want to necessarily say the name out loud too much, too often, or just because I don't know what people are thinking, so I'm careful with that. But anyway, yes, people who are, people like to watch their stuff get made. So this eyeball is good. This one I think needs to come up a little bit. Nicholas, that is actually coming. That guy is in the mold also. No, he's out of the mold. The werewolf is actually out of the mold over there. So, depending upon how we do on Pelican, he is next up right after Pelican. It's also Monster Camp weekend, so there'll be a little bit of a slowdown there. All right, so now I am happy with that height. And I'm happy that both the eyes are going in the same direction. Yeah, and probably at some point in time in very early October, I will cut off orders simply because of I won't be able to get them done by Halloween, and most people are ordering masks for Halloween. I am sculpting clay. Take my wedding ring off, put that in my pocket. It is a silicone wedding ring, so I don't ever lose a finger. I don't have to do a top eyelid, but I do a little bit of one. Let's say I didn't have to do a top eyelid. It turns out I do. This is EVA foam clay that I'm using to secure the eyeballs with. Go. Big Dog, I did see your Two-Face. I did see that. Very interesting concept. It's almost like the Norns or the Hag, that it's both young and old at the same time. Nice concept. This pumpkin is not going to be worn because he was foam filled and there's a pipe sticking out of his head. So that makes it harder to wear. Now you can still wear it, just not on your face. Probably in November, Stanley. I'll pick up orders again in November. Or if somebody wants to order a Krampus, they can order a Krampus in October with the understanding that it's going to be ready to go after Halloween. But Krampus that push is after Halloween. Mike Murphy, I don't use any hard plastic horns. But if I did use hard plastic horns, I would use a soldering iron, because I've done it a couple times, but I don't normally. The ones that you see me have, like in the background there, those are foam horns. They're actually a firm foam. But you poke holes through the horn with a soldering iron, and then through the mask, and use little zip ties to hold them on. And contact cement. That way you have a chemical bond and a physical bond. The snowman mask normally takes about the same time, about 2 weeks. You know, it depends on what's in the queue, you know, but if I'm going start to finish on the snowman mask, it actually takes me, I got about 6 hours of work in each snowman mask, from cutting and building. And when they start out, they look like a Ninja Turtle. So, I think I have a snowman form in the other room. 1980, you're an imaginative guy. I'm just going to let that happen for you. Let's see. Yep, there you go. That's what Al Driver says. Same thing that I said. Let's go this way. So, yeah, every now and then when I'm carrying the camera, you guys really get to see my forehead. You may think that I'm losing hair and going bald. I don't think so, because I've had this hairline and hair this thin since I was like, well, since forever. Do I have a snowman in here? Ooh, I do. I do have a snowman. So this is the back part of my shop. And this is where EVA foam and stuff is for making EVA foam helmets. See a bunch of helmets up there and stuff. And there's the boots that you like so much. But right there is a snowman base that I'll grab. They are EVA foam. And you can see that when we laser cut them, I actually put where, because they're so complicated. But doesn't that look like a Ninja Turtle? Like that's a good Ninja Turtle base. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anyway, yeah, so I have snowmen. This is why I don't get things done. I shouldn't be in here. I got a mask to work on. What do you got? You're a bad influence on me. All of you. I swears it to be true. You might have seen wings. Yes, that's possible. Just like everything else, sculpt mold. However, I'm going to do a wing tutorial for YouTube Wednesday that, you know what? Not this week. I'll do it next week, because wings can count as costumey, can't they? And you will friggin' love it, in my opinion. You might not. Okay, so we need to tape over those so that we don't get stuff on them. Oh, I didn't show that snowman. Oh, horror beauty. Have I got the wings for you? JTA Haunts. I have done that, actually. I have made those kind of signs. 1980, yes. I have seen how much they deteriorated. Human sweat is actually pretty acidic. So the fact that the actors were martial artists and they wore those, and foam latex just doesn't normally live on it. Just, you know what I mean? Foam latex doesn't have the best life anyway. Yeah, they fall apart. Hello, Steelo's Curse Haunted House. Hello. You've been squirreled a lot lately, because I'm a little squirreled this evening. But we're about to focus. We're going to focus. Focus. We're going to tighten up our back brace. This is part of focusing. That's how you know I'm serious, when I tighten up the back brace straps. We have this mask to paint. While that's drying, we're going to mold some big teeth. So there's lots going on. So, Horror Beauty, did you see the video that I did on pool noodles and how you just stick them together with heat? Because they're polyethylene foam. And then did you see the video that I did on making graveyard statues? And there's one that I made completely out of polyethylene foam. You do your wing support structure out of pool noodles, and then you do a skin of the underlayment foam, and then you put on underlayment foam feathers, and they're pretty magical, in my opinion. So you're going to see that pretty soon. I think you can still get pool noodles at like Walmart and stuff. just start calling a few places, but they're super lightweight. And then you can do a very simple back piece to hold them because the pool noodles already have that hole inside. So then you use 2 pieces of PVC pipe attached to a belt, or whatever, that come up, and you slide the wings down over top. And you can connect both wings with pool noodles so that they're kind of a stable back unit. Yeah, but we're not supposed to talk about that today. And I'm just completely giving away a YouTube Wednesday. There you go. And who doesn't want rigid pool noodles? I know I want that. Tape. Remember we said we wanted tape? Eventually, I'll get like really on a project and I'll be focused. But that's not right now, is it? This will not be a late night. I have 3 projects to do. I think I'll be able to wrap this up by 10 o'clock. Fine, people. Walgreens had candy cane striped pool noodles. That's awesome. Stay on target, stay on target. Leader to red 5, stay on target. A womp rat's not bigger than 3 meters. That's a 9-foot rat, by the way, for those people who don't understand British stuff, like the non-imperial system. Well, Nicholas, we kind of formed a little group here on the chat, and I encourage us to be welcoming. We're not mean to anybody new. You can tell who's new because they ask new person questions, and that's perfectly fine. I don't get mad answering the same questions over and over. That's not going to bother me. It means that people are interested. And I think that we have an audience, you guys, that we push to be inclusive. So yeah, we do have a lot of the same people on, and I think that that's wonderful. See, the red skirt is already part of a costume, so that's not going to happen. I have it. Ken, do you think that I just sit around and have time to watch movies? If you do, then you think better about me than most. I don't have that. I don't do that a lot. Alexa, remind me tomorrow at 2 p.m.
What's the reminder for?
Watch White Buffalo. Buffalo.
Okay, I'll remind you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
It's a terrible loop. JTA, I bought one. It's not here yet, but I bought one, and I'm going to turn it into a Cyclops, like a Harryhausen style Cyclops. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, see, what happens is I have ALEXA on my computer. I'm playing my computer on the TV. So when I say it to ALEXA, that picks it up, and then it hears the slightly late recording of my voice, and it's this terrible long echo loop that just happens forever. Because technology is not smart. So cool, Realms. I'm glad you're making pig stuff. That's awesome. The Green Dragon Ghost Lady from Ghostbusters. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm excited to see it too. I hope it happens soon. That might be a fun project. I mean, like, I've got this giant, like, dinosaur skull out back that I've got to work on too. But that's going to be like a November, December thing to work on for my monster museum that always happens in the spring. Well, she used to, but now there is no refrigerator in here. I just needed the shelf space. The fridge is in the other room. Realms, I'm very excited to see your pig mask. And I'm not a huge fan of pig masks, but I'm excited that you're making stuff. Okay, so now we have this. Will I have to go in and paint around that black? Yes, because the tape is, covering a little bit. We will do some broadcast Gregory Haynes. We certainly will. So, do you want to see a? This is kind of sounding like me throwing somebody under the bus, but I'm not. I'm just saying. You want to see a failed werewolf foot that Rob, damn it, Rob, did? A complete waste of time and energy because it didn't quite come out. But at least it'll show you the latex intentions of the werewolf foot. Let me find it. It's in this room. And it starts with a W. I don't know where it is. Aha! This is a failed werewolf foot. Because, yeah. But, you can see details came out good. The toenails are there. The shape is going to be there. It's got a knee. Yeah. So I'm just hanging on to this for something. Yes, I recommend European Body Arts. Dura is what I recommend. I was painting this. We're going to set up the airbrush now. You know what? It wouldn't be a terrible Cujo leg. They're a little beefier, but by the time you put fur on it, yeah, that would beef it out. No one has bought the deer skull Wendigo yet. I don't even know if that has made it onto the site yet, but it may have. I don't know. The head half is made out of resin. We use Easy Flow 120. The latex was too thin, and my guess is that he tried to put a fabric layer in without putting a wet layer in to bond to. So there was just 2 layers of latex with fabric in between, not soaked fabric. Yes. Okay. Can I put LEDs behind the eyes to make them light up? I would use a different kind of eye if I did that, and that's not what the customer asked for, so that's not what I'm doing. Can you do that? Yes, you can. I make masks all the time with LED eyes or LEDs behind the eyes, but in this case, I'm making something for a customer, so I have to do what they want. Good night, big dog. Enjoy feeding the hoarders. Okay, photo class, that's awesome. For this guy right now, we're going to use the Harbor Freight airbrush. Give myself a little bit of lead time on that. I'm going to restock this up with orange paint. Hooray! Pumpkin teeth. I'm sure I have glasses in here somewhere, but I also don't know where they are. This is a little tiny thing I've got to poke. Robin Hood. Is there a Robin Hood on? Hello, Robin Hood. When I was a kid, I grew up on Robin Hood Road in Aberdeen, Maryland. Thank you, Scott, for the European body art link. Oh, you guys are really far away. Come a little closer. Don't be shy. Come a little. That's a deodorant commercial. Air it extra dry. When you're painting something new, always start in the middle of the face. Just in case something goes wrong, you want to make sure it's right there in the middle of the face, and there's no possible chance to correct it. Maybe that's not what you do. Robin Hood Road, and I never picked that as my security question. I'm also not good at spelling my mother's maiden name, so I can't do that either. So why stand up and do something when you can sit down and do it? I think if my name were Robin Hood, I would be morally obligated to steal from rich people and give some of it to poor people. I think that would be my job. Daryl Dixon would have nothing on the bow that I would have. I would learninate myself. Okay, look, see, now I'm doing the city downy. We're going to do the spinny winny. Yeah, I think you would just be a little predisposed to things. Robin Hood, how did you get your screen name? Thanks. I appreciate that. I think the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch masks, they're just classic masks, man. There's nothing wrong with them at all. I like them. There's a pumpkin, a witch, and a skull, right? Was that all of them? Tasty the Clown. Well, that's a good idea, Cat Swift. How do you put texture on a pig mask? Well, what you need to do, Realms, is look at pig skin. Do a Google image search for pig skin. My favorite sculpting tool is a Google image search. And when you do, Jones! What's up, buddy? He came in and he immediately went underneath at the table. What's up, bud? How are you? Yeah? Tell me the news. Jones. I can't sit and hold you. I got work to do, buddy. This is the closest I've been to focused all night. But anyway, as I was saying, I say as I go back to something I interrupted myself from, Realms, do a Google image search for pig skin. And I can tell you that pig leather looks so different from other leather. It has an amazing texture on it, and it has a lot of these big bumps. So, you know, just really look at pig leather. Wait, ostrich leather has really big bumps. Its pig leather has, it's bumpy, but it also has like a grid pattern in it from their creased skin. It's really cool. You can look up pig leather if you want. It doesn't all look like footballs. And I've never touched a football that was actual pig leather. I think they're all rubber or vinyl now. How many pigs must die? Many, because bacon is so delicious. I'm sorry, I kind of feel bad, but no, I'm eating bacon. It's delicious. And you know what? Even better than bacon? Pork tenderloin. A properly cooked pork tenderloin. Whoo! Woo! It is the champagne of meats. Footballs have a sculpted texture. When Al Driver was sculpting War Piggin in the shop, and he was going to leave it smooth, if I recall, and I kind of said, no, you should do this texture. And then it was like, well, where should I do it? I'm like, over the whole thing. He was like, I hate you a little bit. But the sculpture turned out looking awesome. I'm still there, Al. Do you remember that incident? Were you thinking you would not enjoy? Yes. And you know what? And I am part of the 25% that enjoys soft bacon more than crispy bacon. I'm going to say ice cream is my favorite food group, which is why I'm fat a lot of the time. But hey, I'm working on it. Well over 80 pounds down from where I used to be. Hooray. So I got to grab another of these little bottles. I should have one here with green paint in it, right? Here's my yellow for the yellow part. Bones Jones. Nope, but I have an empty one. We're going to make that a green one. No, the soft bacon, it just has more flavor and texture. I'm not a fan of crunch. Hello, Angie Hale. I'm sorry you're late too. You missed all the fun stuff. Nothing fun from here on out. Rest of the night, no fun shall be had. By royal decree, no fun shall be had. I'm down like 83 pounds now. So what I'm doing is working. Maybe 85 pounds. And see, I like a little bit of chew to my bacon. I want to live. Steak tartare. I don't know how I feel about that. Realms is making a pig mask right now, Al. Realms is making a pig mask. Well, it's not a congratulations. It's yeah, you fatty, you should lose some weight. That's where we're at. I gotta change colors. Hello, Philip Earl. Ooh, I gotta stab this with a pin because I haven't cleaned out this. Wait, it's a new bottle. Why would I have to stab this with a pin? See what happens. Oh, you know what? There, I need to. How long did it take to get some traction on social media pages? I don't know. Really, so the first picture that I noticed that I posted on Facebook, all right, I posted a picture on Facebook and it got like 200 something likes. And I'm like, okay, so there's something to this Facebook thing. And what it was we had a dimmer switch in our bedroom in the old house, and the dimmer switch had cracked. Like the round switch part had a crack in it. So I just took one of my eyeballs, my plastic eyeballs, and I hot glued it with red around it on the dimmer switch. I put it on there. And I actually really liked that because then I knew that the one with the eyeball on it was the light and the other one was the fan. Otherwise, you could be a little confused. That's awesome, Rachel. Chad Smith, you know what that means? It means your mask is not completed and you can work on it some more. Do not be bummed. You have been given a glorious gift of time, of more time to work on your sculpture. I can guarantee that your sculpture is not perfect. No sculpture is perfect. And what you want the most time of is refining. Odds are really good that you have great framework done. Well, the framing on a house gets done in 3 days. It's all the electrical and the plumbing and all the little stuff that makes a big difference. That takes a lot longer. So invest this time that you have instead of waiting on plaster. Refine that sculpture. You can make it better. Oh, awesome. Set up your graveyard. That's so great. All right, I'm supposed to be painting. And I got green working, which I'm painting these leaves green. Well, maybe it depends on how big it is, 1980. Depends on how big it is. But yeah, the framing happens quick. So one of the worst job I ever had as far as physically demanding, I was a roofer's helper. And my job was to carry packets of shingles up the ladder to the roofers. That was a tough job. But I learned to walk up a ladder without using my hands, and I could do it holding 4 packs of shingles. And I did it dozens, hundreds of times a day. Okay, what can you do to make your mask that you're sculpting when it's heavy as want to flip forward? Oh, that's pretty simple. If you need to, realms, I normally take, the first thing I do is I put clay all around the whole thing, and I just push that clay onto the board. And that does a pretty good job. So that does a good job. But yeah, I mean, what you also could do is you could put a screw in through the back to help hold it on. That's possible. They deliver them onto, well, someone still has to get them up there, or is it like a boom truck now? Well, before that, like, I thought I was escaping working terrible jobs. I worked on a sod farm. And I just picked up sod, and I carried sod from where it was cut to a truck. So, yeah, I was really using my job skills. Which is why I'm like, maybe I don't need to go to college. This heavy stuff is my future. And now I make decorative rocks for a living, i.e. mask molds. Monster, I normally do. This guy I'm doing as a wash. Philip Earl, I don't quite know what you're asking me why I did it. I was young, I needed the money. That's the honest answer. And I was funding a haunted house. Surprise, surprise. I also worked at a burger place in the Harford County Mall, which was called Papa's Fritas, which was delicious burgers and fries. That was a good job for me. I went on vacation, and when I got back, everybody that I'd worked with was fired for stealing. It's like, whoa, holy moly. I haven't done that many jobs. Everything that I've talked about just now in the past 10 or 15 minutes was pre me being 18. There was a period of time in the summers where I was a lifeguard. I did that, in the summers, and then in winters I would work for, back then, the Aberdeen Proving Ground, which is a military base. They always had different kind of tests going, and you could go and work there and do fun test stuff, like looking at camouflage patterns and pictures, and it was all different things that they wanted data on. So that was kind of cool. Yes, I guess it helped build that physique. Yeah. Yeah, 1980, one of the managers cleaned up. Well, so back in the day, all the information that the company had on you was in the file folder, and there was a manager who did just that, and they grabbed their file, and they grabbed whatever piece of paper they knew had their information on it, stole a bunch of money, and took all that paperwork, and then it's like, we don't even know where this person is now. We don't even have that. We don't even have their information now. So yeah. Now everything is like triple backed up, and it's a lot harder these days. It was fun stuff. It was, can you hear these sounds? Listen and guess what kind of animal it is moving, and they would play sounds for you with these giant headphones. It was a lot of cool stuff. I don't know what they were doing with the information. It was just some kind of military testing that was just always going on. And this really looks like I'm just willy-nilly painting this. And this doesn't look good right now at all, I know, but it will, because we're going to do a black wash on this. When you make gelatin appliances, heat up your gelatin. Try and do it when it's warm. Like put that whole mold and everything in the microwave and give it like 30 seconds or so. It's probably in your mix, but I don't know a lot of that. Minjera, get some sleep, of course. Nuke it harder. Yes, make it warmer. Your gelatin is too cool. This is my musical gift. This is all I can do. 142 people watching me make organized finger fart noises with my fingers and an airbrush. All right, let's paint.
I want to paint stuff.
All right, so I talk about a concept every now and then of from one thing, know 10,000 things. And this is a ridiculous segue. But when I was a youngster, I took ninjutsu so that because I wanted to do haunted houses and I needed some kind of activity. And I'm like, you know what? I'll do ninjutsu because they're good at hiding. And I wanted to learn ninja mind control so I could scare people. But what I use almost every day, now that my eyes are going a little bit bad, is that we did a lot of sword stuff, and a lot of it was working in a completely black room, and how do you put your sword back in your sheath when it's pitch black? Well, you drag the sword across your hand, holding the sheath right here, and then you'll feel it pop into the end, and then you will put your, then you slide it in. So now that everything is a little bit blurry, that's really close, and I need detail, I find myself doing that with the pin to find this hole. I will drag it across until I find it, and then it goes right in. So what's funny is, that's something that I still use every day that I learned there. It was really cool. Anything that you want to count for a drink can count for a drink, kids. That's right, the musical airbrush. The musical airbrush stylings of Alan Hobbs. Now, an interlude. So, when the first remake of the It movie came out a few years back, not the second part one, but the first one, there was an event that we did at Dark Hour, and I was a clown because this theater wanted a bunch of clowns. So, okay, sure. And it was me and my buddy Justin and my buddy Ivan and my buddy Trey. And we were the clowns who went to this event. And I grabbed one of their red prop balloons. You know how you can run your fingers across a balloon to make noise? I didn't talk, but I would make scary balloon noises. Scare the heck out of people. I learned how to make like the Jaws theme with this red balloon. Oh, were you at that one? Yes, it was the Alamo and Richardson. I was a terrible clown. Yeah, there you go. And now you know. Yes, always something completely different. All right, so this guy is drying. Let's put him in the other room to dry better. He will dry mo better. And I think I poured up that mask at what, like 7:30? 9:30, 10 o'clock. Good night, Patrick Redding. We're going to put this mask right here. Turn on the fans. We're gonna change gears. We're gonna be in one gear, and we're gonna be in the other gear. We're gonna change gears. How are we gonna change gears? We're gonna change gears by working on a silicone mold. Here I have set up. Remember way back in the days, all right, I sculpted teeth for that frost giant mask that I sculpted. Well, this is them. I haven't molded them yet. And we'll be molding them nowish. Oh, dude, listen. I learned a lot about people that year. I did pick up the wrong kid with a T-Rex. And then I had so many of the right kids to choose from, I just grabbed the wrong one. And you can make a sweet T-Rex out of carpet Well, that's a bug. Get out of here. 7:45. Thank you very much. 8:45, 9:45. Right now it's 8:56. Alexa, countdown 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Thank you so much, Cat Swift. You are a pleasure. All right, so I'm just gonna, what I have done to set up this mold is I screwed in through the bottom into those clay teeth that I sculpted, and then I built this little box that I'm hoping is going to be silicone proof because silicone puddles are expensive. We're going to mix up silicone and we're going to fill this sucker up. I think my resin is over there and my silicone is going to be over here. If you want him to be scary, I would not put him over 7 feet. Because what happens is there is a range that we find frightening, and if it's not in that range, if it's too tall, then there's something I call Godzilla syndrome, in which, well, that monster might not notice us because it's so big. You know, I have become insignificant. So I like to keep about 7 feet. And that's the biggest person they're going to see on a regular basis is about 7 feet. So that's a pretty good size in my opinion. Flat sill gel 25, flat sill gel 25, part A, part B. We'll use this first. I don't think that's enough. Hey Alan, what is the black full head mask? All right, so this is actually one that I'm hoping to work on tonight. This is going to be Peliquin from Nightbreed, but this is my Krampus, one of my Krampus mask molds from forever ago. And I think Stanley was on earlier. Do you want the chin horns on or do you want those removed? I can remove those pretty seamlessly if you'd like. Just let me know, Stanley. But yeah, I sculpted that to be a Krampus. I do love me some Krampus. It's time! Yeah, I've done those with just straight red, and I did it kind of as a darkness version. I was happy. Chin horns stay on. You are the man, I understand. You know what? Damn it, Rob made that creepy deer mask. I did nothing on that. We're going to thin this silicone a little bit with naphtha. Packing tape. Mold seams? I don't know what you're referring to. I'm going to thin this with naphtha. A and B. I only have a little bit of this left, that's why I'm using this. I just kind of want to use it up. And I don't know how long I've had it. Don't think I'm going to have enough of it, but try. Now, this is going to be an awesome race because those mold walls are made out of pink foam. Naphtha eats that kind of foam. I'm going to thin this silicone with naphtha, and it will start eating the walls slowly. The Platsil Gel 25 cures in about 5 minutes. Will the naphtha eat through the foam wall before the Platsil Gel 25 cures? Have to find out. Oh, okay. They were hot glued, so I feel pretty good about them. Like I said, I'm putting something that eats foam in that foam box anyway. Yes. Yes. All right, so these guys are dead. Two for two, no look. All right, so we have another dilemma. The other dilemma, for the want of a horseshoe, a horse was lost. For the want of a horse, a king was lost. So for the want of a nail, a kingdom was lost. Now, you guys have to amuse yourselves, because I have to. Remember that big soda that I was drinking? I gotta get rid of that. Hooray, make a cage! It's your own story time. That's right. But also, Angie, hit up Craigslist, okay? They're all over on Craigslist. They're all over on Facebook Marketplace. That's where you're going to find those. That's right. It's like the inception of comments. And now I'm just stirring the naphtha into one of these sides. You can also cut a disc out of plywood and use a plastic garbage can, but they're a little thinner. And I'm just mixing in the naphtha into the silicone. Put a little bit of naphtha in here too. So I'm going to mix both of these into there. Horror Beauty. I normally apply my cat plastic with one of these, the Super Baldies, and it works awesome. Really good for layering up the cat plastic. I would like some 10-gallon pails from bakeries. I might call a bakery or two and see if they got some pails. I know what they look like. And yet I want them. Philip Earl. I'm going for buttermilk, let's say. It's going to be a little thinner, but that's okay. It's going to be a lot of naphtha in it. Yes, but a 10-gallon hat does not actually hold 10 gallons. I have no idea where that name came from. Very disappointing. The aqua properties of 10-gallon hats. I've now mixed A and B together. My time is now limited. Everything that happens now, it's on a schedule. This stuff is going to get hard, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. I have a pot life of not that long. Okay, so now I have put it in there. I did not quite have enough. I didn't have enough. And I'm leaking. I'm leaking right from here. So now, despite 1980s wise advice earlier, now I'm going to tape up the seams. Okay, and normally you could heat gun this to speed up the kicking, but I can't because the heat gun is going to make, the heat gun is going to melt the styrofoam. So there you go. I possibly could add something to displace it. That's an honest possibility. We grab another little piece of foam. I know I got room to slide it down in there. But the more that leaks out, the more and more displacement I'm going to need. I've now displaced almost enough silicone to cover the whole thing. That's okay. Oh yeah, see, I won't even answer the phone when I'm molding. I mean, I am what you call chemically committed. I just don't have a lot of room. Yeah, and I think it's actually hitting the tooth over there, so no. But I don't have a bad leak, obviously. But I can't scoop this silicone back on top because this table has so much latex on it. I know that'll inhibit the cure. So we just can't do that. We're making a silicone mold of some teeth to put into a mask. Realms, it depends. The mask is hollow. You can cut air holes anywhere you can hide them. I think right here is my main leak. Right there. I don't think I'm going to have a big problem. It's not eating the foam that fast, so that's good. I'm going to grab some other silicone. TCC 510, I don't want. No. No. I don't want poly 74. No. This might be what I have to use. Please don't trip over the open drawer. Yeah, I should probably just close that drawer, right? Get down there, you. Magic. Levitation! No. Actually, it's just, that's a floaty bit. Now, honestly, this foam touched the table that has a lot of latex on it. So, it's not really that safe to put it there either. It's probably the safest corner for me to put that in. That does get me all the way up to the tippity top. Tip top, tippity top. As soon as I move this finger, it's gonna come out. Okay, I don't want to pull a pin right out of latex and put it in there, or that'll cause problems. Normally, any head you have around here is going to have a bunch of just wait, T-pins in it. That's right, Chaos Runner. No one is watching me. Yeah. 1980 tried. He's like, hey man, you should really tape that before you mold that stuff. And I was like, no. And now my mold is leaking. I got my finger in it, and that's just how my life is for now. Okay, I'm gonna do it again in this corner. I don't have any more of this particular silicone. Grab another T-pin first. I'm doing it. There's a hole over here too that I didn't know about. I'm going to plug that with a bamboo skewer. It's a screw hole. So okay. All right. We got this. Everything is covered. I don't see it really like leaking out really bad. Yeah, see? So now everything is covered. Just want to keep this contained here. Sweet, barf duty. That sounds like a fun job, said no one ever. T-pins for everyone. Look under your seat. You get a T-pin. You get a T-pin. You get a T-pin. So if you guys think that I'm professional and you could never hope to achieve the skill level that I have achieved, look back at this moment and realize how much I wing it every single moment. And I think I made a post one time about imposter syndrome. Or I agreed to it, or I thumbs up it, or something. And someone kind of called me on it, and they were like, "You have imposter syndrome?" All the time, because I know how much I'm actually winging it, which is an alarming amount. I'm on the fake it till I make it variety of building things. Any moment, someone could tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hey, I just realized you have no idea what you're doing and you should leave." Yeah, well, okay. I gotta go. But yeah, so look at this lovely mold that I've engineered. No, not so much. All right, let's catch up on... You better speak to the manager, but you gotta have the right haircut for that. You can't just go around manager talk without the right haircut. Now I'm going to walk away and like a leak will develop, but that's fine. Okay, all right. You were the adult for sure in 1980. That's for sure. I gotta go back a little ways because, yeah. Because I was chemically committed. Who is babysitting at Code Red? Exactly. It will be a very ugly, weird shaped mold, Masato. You are correct. Oh, you know what? Just Mike, I laugh too. I laugh every time. That's what you do. Yes, the Platsil Gel 25 or Gel 10, all those, the Platsil formulas, they stick to each other no problem. That's why they're great for doing head casts. I did tape it. Yeah, foam floating up was fun. I one of the first times, not one of the first times, but every now and then, like Monster Clay decides, oh yeah, I float. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to float this time. So you make this silicone mold, and then up floats your Monster Clay sculpture. And it's like, no, no. Da-da-da-da. Ooh, Home Depot meth. Yes. I don't even know what that's about. I can see that. Okay, now I come all the way back down. Just like you guys are watching me read a screen, but I'm trying to answer your comments. I'm sorry about your child, Celeste. I hate that. I hate that they're sick. Well, it's supposed to be 5 minutes silicone. I also said it was old. And as these things age, sometimes they kick faster and sometimes they kick slower. But I also thinned it. So you never know. I did go MacGyver on the mold because desperate times call for desperate measures. Oh yeah, resin on your fingers. That's fun. Starts heating up. That's the good stuff. Yeah, like, you know how when Shannon's in here, the dogs always hang out? Where are they? They're enjoying the air conditioning. That's where they are. They're like, oh, he's fine. We don't have to protect him. I wonder if they're right outside. While we're waiting on that silicone, let's conduct an experiment. That right there is the dog door. Alexa, call the living room.
Calling with Alexa is not supposed.
Call the living room.
Calling with Alexa is not supposed.
Oh, now you called it down. I called the wrong Alexa.
Calling with Alexa is not supposed.
Oh, now you called it down. I called the wrong Alexa. Is there a ratio when you thin it? Don't go over more than like 20% naphtha. Don't go over more than 20% naphtha. Yeah. I'm going to go stick my finger in this real quick. Because that's the responsible thing to do. Ooh, we're getting firm. Well, they're probably all the way over at the house. In which case, what I will do is I'm going to do a drop-in on the living room. I'm going to do it on this Alexa over here, and I'll call it Bob. Alexa, drop-in living room. Alexa, hang up.
Calling with Alexa is not supported. 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 Calling with Alexa is not supported.
Alexa, hang up. I called them, but they did not. Dogs don't care. Where do I find my dogs? Well, if I could lick my butt, I don't know what would make me stop either. All right, so here we go. Let's find them doggos. Hello! I heard him coming. Hello, doggos. Oh, oh, crazy dogs. All right, I'm going to work. Hello. You were sleeping pretty hard, huh? Oh, goodness. Okay, let's turn this around. Hello, happy dog faces. And jumping on other dog faces. Hello, Boris. Okay. All right. Now that's the dog break. Where were you guys? You guys went to the house and you fell asleep in the air conditioning. That's what you did. Okay. Hello, D-Lan Robbins. Well, they don't have any of those TRATSs over here. That's for sure. You could use thickish curtain material. You can use anything you want. The paint tarp, it might not stick to very well, so you got to be careful of that. I would use something that has a grain and has some texture for the liquid nails to bite on. It would appear that Frankenmold is curing up nicely, all right? So I'm going to set this over here at some point. Okay. Now, where were we? We were working on a pumpkin. Let's clean our hands off, go milk on them. So, you guys don't know that I just sprayed vinegar all over my hands. Because I thought it was 99% alcohol, which is a good hand cleaner, but the vinegar is not a great hand cleaner. Harbor Freight has canvas tarps. Look for canvas tarps. Canvas tarps. Canvas, canvas, canvas. And when because normally when you say paint tarp, people think plastic tarp. No, alcohol and vinegar does not smell the same. Very different smells. Yes, 180-pound Newfie. These guys are about 110 each now, and they are 10 and a half months old. A full werewolf suit, no mask, no stilts. I don't have that brain on right now. I would actually have to look. Realms, I didn't see your comment. I was messing with my dogs. I was shorter. I'll go try to find it. Realms, I don't see your, oh, here it is. I tried making a goat mask, didn't like it. Then a pig, love it. Probably picked the hardest things. Goats are actually kind of difficult. So pigs are not. Yeah. Alcohol doesn't smell like vinegar after I put it on my hands. Alcohol, that smell kind of goes away, in my opinion. Let's get our pumpkin. What do you apologize for? Yes, vinegar is an amazing material. Al Matra had a good question. Let's go back and find Al's question then. Would I have been able to top off the mold with Silicone 1 caulking? I don't, okay. Silicone 1 is tin cure silicone. Platinum silicone will not cure with tin cure silicone around. But tin cure silicone will cure on top of platinum cure. So the answer is maybe. I would have had to have done something to make a mechanical bond just in case they don't stick together. But I think the mold that I made is ugly as sin, but it's going to work. Very cool, Dead End. I'd love to see your mold for that. Yeah, vinegar is amazing. Now we're going to do our alcohol rub out on this guy. Put our naphtha away. Yeah, that silicone is not pourable in 5 minutes, but it's not hard in 5 minutes. It's hard in about 20 minutes or so. I'm amazed that this has cured as much as it did on this table, which has just covered in latex all the time. I do 2 tables of apple cider vinegar and lemon juice every night before bed. Hate the smell and taste, but it's awesome for weight loss and overall body. Okay, cool. I found pumpkin rolls in the dough section. Cinnamon rolls, pumpkin, sweet. I'm on a low carb diet right now. That hurts my heart. Could I some way paint silicone 1 caulk onto a real pumpkin to make a mold and cast hydrocal around for foam pumpkins. Of course, yeah. You're just making a silicone mold with a jacket. That's all. Yep. It gets done all the time. I wouldn't necessarily use caulking for something the size of a pumpkin. I would go ahead and buy a real silicone kit. I don't know that you would even pay any more in the long run because of how expensive the silicone one is per tube. So, yes. We have 10 minutes for the latex worm. Thank you, Amanda. I'm glad someone is paying attention. I normally use wet clay or water-based clay. It is a clay for ceramics. Chaos Runner, are you wetting it down and covering it with plastic when you're done in the evening or when you're in between sculpting sessions? Yes, you know what? I clean mirrors, like my bathroom mirror here. I clean that with vinegar and newspaper. It works great. Chaos Runner, can you send me some pictures? Because I would love to help you. I don't know what's going on. Where do you live? Are you in like Arizona or something? And what kind of clay are you using? Okay. So we're going to get this guy painted up. Alexa, add Harbor Freight airbrushes to my shopping list.
Harbor Freight airbrush is added.
Shopping.
Harbor Freight airbrush is added. Harbor Freight airbrush is added.
Chaos Runner, send me some pictures because I don't know what you're doing wrong. I think pictures of your setup are going to be the best way to inform me, and so I can help. If I'm able to help. But I will try. I'm mixing up a black wash to do a rub out technique on this. It's about 25% and 75%. 25% ink, 75%, 70% alcohol. This happens to be 99 in here. That's okay. I do need to get a sponge or towel. I'll probably grab a sponge. The thumb is much better. I keep it super glued. It's still fixing. No, haunted houses take actors normally through the whole thing. Yes. We're gonna go out to the car real quick. Yeah, we're going out to my car in order to grab something. See, in the country, it gets dark. Like, there's no light out here except what you make. sponges. And this other stuff you really shouldn't see, because you'll see that on YouTube Wednesday. But the sponges were for this. Come on, kiddos. Oh my gosh, you can see so many stars out here. That's what's amazing. Well, Kimberly, glycerin is what's added to clay to make wet clay. So regular clay, you add glycerin to it to make wet. Oh, I hit the Godzilla. Sorry. You know what? I'll hit Godzilla. Okay. You guys are a good crew. How many people are watching? 160 people are watching. Oh my goodness. You guys deserve the Godzilla. And new people, you don't know what they're talking about. So this right here, that's my van. All right, and it's got a wrap on it for Dark Hour Haunted House. That's my day job. And I had the horn replaced on the van with Godzilla's roar. And few things in life make me happier than this car horn. So we will hit the Godzilla just for you. And my wife's not here to stop me, because she would say, "It's too late for Godzilla, the neighbors." That's what she would say. All right, here we go. Like for tricks. Car horn. That's the best. Okay, look out, kids. Come on, let's go in. Godzilla. Yeah. At some point, someone can probably give a link to the Godzilla horns and where I got them. That makes me happy every single time that I do it. I gotta look real quick for, the doggos don't mind it. They're like, whatever, it's Dad. You don't even need a telescope. I could see, so pardon me here, but I could see Uranus the other day with my naked eye. Yeah, you could see the graphics on the van. Sure. Or, you know what, I'll post some pictures on Creepers. Very cool, Reptile. No, I never need encouragement to fire up Godzilla. I did have to get out of the van this Man-Bat toy that I bought. Man-Bat is, if I have a favorite DC character, it's probably Man-Bat. Just look at how cool he is. You know, he's a man and a bat. So, Man-Bat, that's my favorite. I bought him today by accident. He goes on the toy shelf. Okay. Boris is attempting to injure a doggo. I'm sorry that Godzilla scared your dog. I apologize. But on the upside, your dog was licking his butt earlier. So there you go. It just fell in the cart, Horror Beauty. I was just walking by and it fell in the cart. And if my wife is watching, I spent less on action figures this week than she spent on pumpkins. By the way that you do a zoom for effect, when you're filming on your phone, you just lean. Yeah. I had to run into Walmart to get something the other day. And she's like, "Oh, I gotta go too." Okay. I can pick it up for you. No, I have to go. And there's like 5 pumpkins appear in the shopping cart. Okay. I've done so many bat masks. I don't mind doing another one, but I've done a lot of bat masks, man. I like me some bat monsters. When I met my wife, I was wearing a bat costume. Stilt, 17-foot wingspan bat costume. Of the two, Batman, because Superman, he's boring. I mean, like, if you go by, if he remembers all the powers that he has when he's fighting all these different people, then he wins. Like, the only way that you can beat Superman is throw in MacGuffins or have him just forget that he has a certain power. If you're just doing a half mask, I would go ahead and sculpt in the pig ears. I want to douse this pretty good with alcohol, spray alcohol, so that it's wet. Well, that's very cool. Yeah, and like no offense, but like Doomsday looks cool, but look at the character they had to make to kind of, just make an interesting Superman story. He's overpowered. Batman can be fighting crime and twist an ankle, and then that is one of the things he has to overcome is his own twisted ankle. So, that's Superman doesn't roll like that. Actually, normally on there, it's Stacy who approves people. Shannon is on social media sporadically, kind of like I am. I know I want to paint in here black, so I don't mind leaving the tape on for now. Start in the back, just in case things go awry. So honestly, right now, a friend of mine who works in a hospital is stealing gloves for me. Here's why. Everybody who works in the hospital, no one wears an XL glove. They're all tiny people, and so they're like, we have all these XL gloves that we're just not using. So that's kind of where I'm getting them from. You can still get, like a lot of the tattoo sites, they're going to still have gloves because, well, they just do. Yeah, the Leech Lord, I'll pour him out as soon. It never hurts to make him a little thicker, So the Leech Lord I will pull out as soon as I'm done with this guy. Yeah, and you should still be able to find gloves if you need a 2X glove. Good night, Jerry. So what I'm doing